What's up, everyone? I know it's real easy to get stir crazy or depressed during this lockdown. It's a very trying time and a major adjustment period for a lot of people. You have small business owners that are concerned about whether their business going to make it through this crisis or not. You have people that been laid off. You have people that are sick. The government passed the stimulus package, which is not enough. That $1,200 or $2,400 that you're going to get is really just a drop in the bucket. I know there's unemployment benefits that go along with that, but in the long term, it's really wasn't enough. We should have been discussing permanent UBI or at least UBI through this crisis. We need to address our failing healthcare system. We need to address the lack of PPE. And this video, I'm going to talk about readiness, but I also want to talk about inspiration at the same time. Because, I've been okay through this crisis. I had masks, I had gloves, I had first aid kits, had food. I didn't have everything. I could have been better prepared too, but I was more prepared than the average, thankfully. So I want to talk about readiness and inspiration. The biggest adjustment I have made is not going to the gym every day, which is not a big deal because I can work out from home, you know. And besides not going to the barber shop, my hair look crazy, my beard growing wild, but I can get a baldy and shave my beard. Even though my wife wouldn't like that, she have this weird thing against bald heads. It's kind of crazy, but I'm going to leave that alone. That's neither here nor there. So, like I said, I want to bridge readiness with inspiration in this video. Now, you can get inspiration from everywhere. I get inspiration from reading, I get inspiration from talking to people. And a lot of times, it's the person that you least expect that can give you the biggest jewel. So always keep an open mind when it comes to that. But my biggest place of inspiration might be odd for some people. It's hip hop. You know, um, I'm a hip hop baby. I was born in '84. My brother was really into hip hop. He had me in a Run DMC hat when I was 4 years old. I know a lot of people just listen to hip hop for the beats and just to enjoy a song. Like I do that too, but I'm really into lyricism too. I'm really into bars, and that's one of the reasons I love battle rap. And a playlist that I'm creating, this is the first video in it, is hip hop inspiration. You know, um, and the first artist I'm covering is Loaded Lux. So the quote that Loaded Lux always says applies to this very crisis right now, to COVID 19. And I'm going to explain in a minute. For those of you who don't know who Loaded Lux is, he makes music, but he's much more famous for battle rap. If you haven't done so, definitely check out his battles with Calico, his battles with Hollow the Don, his 2-on-2 battle, him and Hollow Don versus Chess and Tay Rock. He just had a battle with A Verb last year, and he had one of the best Funk Flex freestyles of all time, probably just behind Black Thought. You know, definitely a dope artist. And the funny thing about hip hop is a lot of the artists say stuff and they probably didn't mean for it to be inspirational, but it is. You know what I'm saying? At least for me, because I look at things different. I take inspiration from everywhere. Out all the dope quotes he have said in his battles, or in his music, or in the Funk Flex freestyle, this video is not touching on none of them. It's a phrase that he always used, and he didn't even come up with this phrase, but it's real dope. He says this in almost every interview he does. Stay ready. That way, you don't have to get ready. And I think nothing more applies to this time right now. Stay ready. That way, you don't have to get ready. Again, like I said earlier, I had gloves, I had masks, I had food, I had alcohol, hand sanitizer, and all that already. Like I said, I could have been more prepared, but at least I had that. Going forward, our government and us personally need to be ready. You know, we can't be reactionary. We live in a reactionary society where we don't take stuff seriously until it's a full blown crisis. Now, the military in 2017, it just came out, had a report that a coronavirus could devastate our system. And it's no conspiracy, nothing like that. It's not like they said they was going to create a virus, because I know a lot of people was into conspiracies. No, excuse me, coronavirus is just a type of virus, and COVID is one of the, strains of it. You know what I'm saying? So, coronavirus is already known. Anyway, the military did a report stating that, you know, a coronavirus or a virus or a pandemic in general could devastate our system and devastate readiness. Now, it's been known since 2017 that we didn't have the proper system in place to deal with this. We don't have the hospitals. We don't have enough beds. We don't have enough ventilators. And you're seeing that right now. This was known years ago, and they did nothing about it. And this is not the first time we saw the government response to Katrina. Terrible response. Now, sometimes the government does a okay job responding to a crisis. During the Obama administration, their response to H1N1 was pretty decent. They had a good response to Ebola. So who in office does make a difference. Although the Obama administration definitely made some mistakes too. Actually, a lot of mistakes, but he's definitely is a better manager, and his administration is better than the current administration or the previous administration, the Bush administration. So who's in office does make a difference when it comes to issues like this. So going forward, from a government point of view, we need to start asking federal officials, local officials, state officials, what is your readiness plan? And it's not just about this pandemic. We have stuff like natural disasters. I live in an area where it snows a lot. We can get snowed in at any time. Our local officials need to have a response to blizzards. And we can't just depend on government. What are you doing? Do you have emergency supplies? Do you have a emergency food stash? Do you have non-perishable foods? If you don't, this is stuff you need to start getting slowly. You don't have to get it all at one time. I know right now it's going to be hard because people's going to be taxing, and they're going to put inflation prices on emergency goods. But you could do it slowly, build up. People been warning for years. Scientists been warning for years about climate change. I just read an article yesterday about the Himalayas and how climate change is affecting that area. You know, glaciers and ice caps are starting to melt. That's going to have severe consequences. You know, if the scientist is right, some of these cities that we live in now on the coast is going to be in real trouble. Are they preparing for that? You know, are they preparing for that in Miami? Are they preparing for that in New York? Are they preparing for that in Boston? Are they preparing for that in California? Also with climate change, it's going to affect certain crops. It could be food shortages, and it goes back again, being prepared for a food shortage if that happens. Like right now, what if it's a shortage in the grocery store and there's no food or very little food? Are you prepared? Also, people have been warning for years about our power grid, and how our power grid need to be upgraded. If we lose electricity, could you go without electricity for a few months if you need to? Do you have a generator? And if you don't have a generator, like I said, are you prepared to go without electricity? Do you have flashlights? Do you have all the essentials? This is the type of stuff that we need to start thinking about. Again, stay ready. That way you don't have to get ready. Shout out to Lux. Going forward, policy wise in government and personally, this is the type of discussions we need to have. So I definitely thank everybody that subscribed to the channel. Make sure you share this. Definitely trying to grow the channel, and we doing big things. I got a few dope series that I'm doing for y'all. Just did the first series on the presidency, the Flash and Black, the American presidency with George Washington. That video is out. I'm working on the John Adams one, the second president of the United States. I'm doing comics and consciousness. It's gonna be dope. I'm doing Luke Cage again. I'm gonna do the whole series of Luke Cage from, the reboots and all that. But there's so many other characters we can get into when it comes to social issues and comics and all that. I'm always gonna be on top of the news as well with politics. So I'm working on a lot of different things for y'all. Another series I have is historical beefs. There's a lot of historical beefs that's out there, man. So I'm working for y'all. I'm definitely working for y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Share the video, subscribe, click that notification bell. You know, peace.